Stage Right Speakeasy. Today we will be making the snowflake. We're going to start it off with Olaf's Love. And finish it off with Elsa's Magic. And there you have it, the snowflake. Now please enjoy Zoe, Claire, and Sophia singing Do You Want to Build a Snowman?
Elsa? Do you want to build a snowman? Come on, let's go and play. I never see you anymore. Come out the door, it's like you've gone away. We used to be best buddies, and now we're not. I wish you would tell me why. Do you want to build a snowman? Does it have to be a snowman? Okay, bye.
Do you wanna build a snowman or ride our bikes around the halls? I think some company is overdue. I started talking to the pictures on the walls. Hang in there, Joan. It gets a little lonely, all these empty rooms, just watching the hours tick by.
Elsa? Please, I know you're in there. People are asking where you've been. They say have courage, and I'm trying to. I'm right out here for you. Just let me in. We only have each other, just you and me. What are we gonna do? Do you want to build a snowman?
Hello and welcome to our third week of Frozen. I am Taryn Kane.
I'm Reverend Bill Malden.
And we are here to talk more about our Advent theme of the week, which is joy. We want to talk about how we can find joy not only in Frozen, but in Christmas time, and how we kind of bridge where we find God in Frozen the musical. So one thing I love about Olaf, besides everything, is that he was created and he was, invented by two girls, by sisters, Anna and Elsa, and their love. They were in the best of everything in them. They created something so beautiful together, and in doing so, you never see Olaf have a bad day or have a bad outlook on anything. So you had actually had a really good, analogy of Olaf, or not Olaf, but joy in general. So share that with them. What you share with me.
So I think of, when it comes to like the difference between happiness and joy, I think of happiness kind of like the weather, and I think of joy as kind of like the climate. That the weather comes and goes, it's 30 today and tomorrow it can be 80. It's just, but generally in the winter, the temperature, you have an idea of the general trend. And so I think that's the thing, like happy comes and goes. Did I get what I want? I'm happy or I'm sad. Joy is a lot more stable, and I think Olaf is a great example of that. That what we were talking about is, they may get lost, and somebody may be sad, and that's okay to get sad that they're lost. But then Olaf is the kind of character that says, but we're together. And so seeing what is still there, even in sad moments, seeing that that thing that is making you sad isn't the only thing, that there are blessings, that there are things to still celebrate. That's the difference between, I think, happiness and joy. And it comes to really this idea of the spirit of gratitude.
Absolutely. And thankfully, I think we can all agree, leaving a year like 2020, it's, I think of it and I'm like, but how is next year going to be different? But really, it's up to us, because we choose happiness. We definitely choose. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's times and seasons when we are sad.
It's okay to feel sad.
Yeah, it's okay to feel sad. But in this season of not only Christmas, where we can look and see the reason for the season, obviously, but we can look to the future and know that our outlook has to be nothing else but positive, and to choose joy and to choose this happiness. So you had, we were talking about a kind of a prayer practice that maybe some people at home can use, and looking into 2021. Tell us more about these prayer practices.
So here's a way to pray that I think is good for all of us, even adults, but I think it's really good with children. It's just kind of think of these 5 things. So the first one is, what is something that hurt today? What is something that made you sad? What is something you struggled with? I think it's good to share that with others, but also to share that with God, and to say it's okay to be sad. It's okay to have our hurts and our struggles, to go ahead and share that. And then the second one is, but what are 2 things that made you happy? What are 2 things that were joys that you got to experience today? The third one is looking forward to tomorrow and saying, what are 3 things that you're excited by, but especially how can we invite God into that? So how do you invite God into your day tomorrow? And then this fourth one becomes really important for our discussion on joy is, what are 4 things that you're grateful for? Now, this is an important thing to teach with not just children, but with adults, is there's a difference between my happy and my gratitude and joy, because my happy could be, I won the spelling bee, but that's about me. Practicing gratitude is seeing what God has done or others have done, and that I'm grateful to the blessings that I receive, not based on my own merit, but from others. And so that's that practice of gratitude. So what are 4 things that I can see that others, especially God, have done to bless me and care for me and love me? And then the 5th one is to pray for 5 other people. So to take the focus off of just myself and to end with thinking of others. That I think praying this way, through these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, it helps us deal with hurt, but move on, to celebrate joys, but to look forward, not looking backward, but also then to practice gratitude, which is the practice that leads to joy. You don't just decide you're going to become more joyful. You don't work on becoming more joyful. What you do is you work on being more grateful. And that is the tree that produces the fruit of joy. Absolutely.
And you said something that made me think. One of the bridges, I think, between 4 and 5 of those prayer practices is truly being happy for others.
Right.
Because we go from being happy for ourselves and being even grateful for ourselves, but then when we turn it to others, nothing humbles you more, I think, than whenever you might have something that you're struggling with in life, but then you hear that your friend is not struggling. In fact, they just overcame something that maybe you've gone through. And if you can truly look at it from a standpoint of, but why didn't I get that? Right. And instead say, I'm so happy for you and so thankful that is like what's happening in your life. It really starts to just make your heart that much bigger. And it's easy to be a Grinch right now, right? I know that's not the musical, but it is easy to be a Grinch sometimes.
Well, I think that's the thing on the last one, that 5, it's so important that we celebrate for others and also pray for their needs, that again, just moving the focus off of us, that, that's that part of joy as well, is that the world is bigger than just us and our own experiences, and to end that way in our prayer, I think is important. But I think, these 5 little things, if we do this, like I said, even as adults, but I think we could teach this to children. It's 5 little steps. I think this is a spiritual practice that can help children start to experience joy in their life more.
Absolutely. And
be more like Olaf.
Be more like Olaf. And one fun example is if you think of Frozen, the first one, when Olaf is singing the song In Summer, when we talk about the difference of like the weather versus the climate, he's singing a song. He's a snowman, literally singing about being alive and excited and happy to be in the summertime. We know what happens to snow in the
Right.
summer, but if you compare the weather and climate, if he is the climate and he's always carrying around this I maintain a presence of this and I am this way. He can go through his seasons,
Right.
but he sees the world in a different outlook, and how beautiful it would be if we look at our own lives right now and look forward to 2021 and have that just joyful outlook.
Seeing with the joyful eyes of Olaf.
Absolutely. So thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we hope that you tune in next week for our last episode of Frozen, and then our following week on New Year's Eve we have a New Year's special that we hope you find special and check out. Thanks so much.